Hello and welcome to our market alert video for today, which is April 12, 2024. I hope this video is finding you healthy, wealthy, and wise. I am Ken Moraif. I'm the founder and CEO of Retirement Planners of America, and we have a singular goal which we believe to be a noble purpose, which is to create as many SCWPers as we possibly can. And if you don't know what a SCWPer is, it is the acronym for Second Childhood Without Parental Supervision. So we want our clients to go play, have fun, enjoy, and not worry about all this boring financial stuff. And we call them a SCWPer when they retire. Our website is rpoa.com. So this week, as you may have noticed, the market has been behaving badly, going down quite a bit. And what's driving that is that the news on inflation came out, the CPI came out, and it went up. Inflation went up from 3.2 to 3.5%. So this flew in the face of many people who thought in January, for example, that by March, the Fed was going to start lowering interest rates because inflation was going to be at 2%, and that we were going to have 7 rate cuts by the Fed before the year end. Well, that's all out the window with that number that came out this week. In fact, it's probably looking more like it won't be till September, if then, that the Fed starts lowering interest rates, and it's not going to be 7, it might be 1 or 2. So that's completely changed the complexion, and so many investors are recalibrating. They're looking at, what does the future hold now with this new data that flies in the face of the assumptions they had before, and so we're seeing the selling. One of the things that we mentioned to you in previous videos was that we anticipated a correction, meaning a drop of more than 10%, less than 20%. Because if it gets over 20%, then it's considered to be a bear market, so it gets renamed. But corrections are relatively common. Over the last, since 1950, we've averaged 1 per year. Some years we have 2, some years we have 0, but it averages out to about 1 per year. And they're very attention-getting, they're scary, they're unpleasant. Nobody likes those things, but they pass very quickly and we forget about them. Many of you may have forgotten that last year, between July and August, we had a 12% drop in the market, correction. And you probably don't remember it now because we played through it and got past it. So we anticipate that this will be potentially a correction. We could see some more selling next week and maybe even the week after that. But we always want to be looking at the fundamentals. And in our view, the single most fundamental data point is profits. And what drives profits in our country for the most part is the consumer. 70% of our economy is the consumer. So if we look at the consumer, despite these very high prices and all this inflation, they're still spending, they have jobs, and confidence is holding. So that being the case, we should see the economy be okay, and we should see profits be okay as well. And if that's the case, then the stock market should continue to do well. So this, if it turns out to be a correction as we anticipate, we also would think that it would be a buying opportunity as opposed to a panic opportunity. Now, having said that, we believe that you should always, especially if you're over 50, which is the people we work with, you should always have a strategy to protect yourself from if it continues going down. In other words, it leaves correction territory, heads into bear market territory. That's what we want to help to avoid the bad effects of that. So we have a strategy. It's called Invest and Protect, and it's the strategy that told us to sell in November of 07 before the stock market crash of 08. It told us to sell in March of 2020, literally the day before the pandemic was announced, and you know what the market did after that. And then in 2022, with all this inflation stuff coming along, our strategy said to sell then too, and the market went down significantly after that as the Fed was raising interest rates. So we want to protect against that. We highly encourage you to have a strategy for that. If you're not a client of ours, we think it's a good idea, but certainly you could visit with us and we'll tell you about it. So our view for this year is that stocks should go through a correction, but come out the other side okay, and by the end of this year, we should be higher than where we are today. The bond market didn't like this inflation news, that's for sure. Went down as well. because if the Fed's not going to lower interest rates as much as anticipated, bonds, like it when interest rates go down. And so that's an area that we're invested in our bond portfolio, and we're currently getting the dividend that bonds are paying is very attractive. And we're waiting. We think the Fed will lower interest rates at least once this year. If they do, that's the beginning of a new cycle. And historically, when that cycle changes into a lowering, the bond market does very, very well. So we're anticipating that eventuality. Hasn't happened yet, but we think it will. So overall, that's what we think. The stock market should be okay. Bond market, it's a wait and see, but it should happen. But have a protection strategy in place just in case all of the above is wrong and we have a terrible recession, which is certainly possible. So that's where we are. Thank you for watching this video. Oh, one thing I want to say, we had my wife and I, Faye, are co-chairs. We were co-chairs last year and this year of the Alzheimer's Gala, where it's a fundraising event for research to defeat this horrible, horrible disease of Alzheimer's. Last year, we set a record. We raised $525,000, which was great. We said we want to beat that this year, and we raised over $700,000. We're approaching $700,000, I should say, this year. So a new record, and we beat the heck out of last year's record. And I want to thank everybody that participated, that gave money, that gave time, donors, all of you. Thank you for what you did. Next year, our goal is $1 million. So I'm going to be asking you to participate as well, to give some money and help us defeat this terrible thing. I'm sure it's affected many of your lives that are watching this video, and we want to get rid of it. It needs to go. So again, thanks for watching this video. Share it with your friends. Share it with your business associates. We want to help as many people as we possibly can. So thanks again, and we'll talk soon.